Good evening, everyone. The best way to predict the future is to create it, said by Peter Drucker. And Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan has always been the pioneer for any kind of new thoughts, initiative, and new trends. Good evening, all and all present here, respected A.K. Sharma sir, all other respected principals and teachers. It is an absolute honor to welcome you all to this 4-day virtual conference on skills not taught in school, which is initiated by Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Delhi Kendra. This particular platform is dedicated to exploring the skills which are often overlooked in traditional education, but these are equally vital for personal growth and professional development. Myself, Shukla Bhomik, a teacher at Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Agartala Kendra, will be your host for this 4-day long virtual conference on skills not taught in school. So let us all begin today's occasion, today's this conference by seeking blessing of the Almighty to fill space with positivity, serenity. Let us all unite in the prayer. I would like to request everyone present in this virtual conference to join with us for the auspicious prayer. Such a serene start of today's program, the first day of this virtual conference. We all would pray to the Almighty that may He demolish all the negativity from us and shower His blessing and positivity on us so that we can be able to absorb knowledge and wisdom from everywhere. Coming together is the beginning, and staying together is the progress, and working together is the success. So let us all join hands together to make this 4-day conference a really successful one. To begin with, I would like to request our Dr. A.K. Sharma sir to please say a few words about this 4-day virtual conference. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Shukla, and welcome to all teachers from my fraternity. It's a pleasure to see so many teachers today, and also I welcome my team members, my resource persons for this workshop today. If you see the total scenario of the world, you will find that 83% or like so. If you see 83% leaders, especially those who are dealing with the recruitment, they believe that the workforce is demand of the workforce is more, but we couldn't find good workers. Good workers means the workers with the skill and technology. You might have seen that some of you who are related with the recruitment, you might have found that it is very difficult to get good teachers because of these certain values, these certain skills, which are missing with the time. And I have already told you many times, and today I'm also revising the same, that two things are very necessary for the teachers. One is upgrade and second is update. So upgrade your knowledge and update your skills. The time has changed. Now we have digital systems, intelligence tools, cloud computing, virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, so many things we have. And if you see, during COVID, our teachers have learned a new chapter, a new skills, we can say. And it shows that our teachers are a regular learner. There are many skills which are not taught in the schools. This particular session is about those skills which are not taught in the schools, but with a humble request that teachers should inculcate these skills in their day-to-day teaching so that even if we are not teaching them separately as a subject, our children should know about this. They should be adaptable, they should be creative, they should start analytical thinking, and also uh, they should know the skills of management in the age of artificial intelligence and cloud computing. The entire this framework is, if you see that it is divided in 4 days. The first day is about the social skills that we have taken, thinking skills, and financial literacy. It is about the first day. The first speaker and the keynote speaker is Anushree Mathur. Second speaker about thinking skills is Shalini Satsangi. And today's third speaker is Neetu Jetli. And on the second day, our speaker is about the adolescence issues, Dr. Jyoti Devrishi, about emotional manipulation, Madam Vijay Lakshmi, and about the using digital technology, Surabhi Saxena, Madam. And digital technology, I have requested her to add analog technology also. On the third day, we'll take time management by Nilu, Madam. And chat GPT and artificial intelligence, we have invited a person who is dealing with this. Of course, he is not from Bhavans, but he is dealing with this, and which is a very well-known professional, Dr. Shama Swarnakar. And third session is learning from failures, which is will be taken by a veteran teacher of Kolkata, Mrs. Shobana Mukherjee. And the fourth day, it is my turn to take one session, transform your life with the Gita wisdom. One of my teachers from Panchkula, Prerna, has requested me that this session should be taken by me, so I'm taking it. Then the
Thank
next
you
is
so much,
about
sir.
learning to learn. It is taken by the thank you from Mala Dev Chaudhary, and conflict management will be taken by the Apurva Nijaman. So these resource persons that we are taking is a combination of old and new, experience and energy. I'm sure that Our teachers will be highly benefited for this. So let us start with the session. Over to you, Shukla. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. So, as our AK Sharma sir about this 4 day conference, for today, the first day, we will be having we will be having three speakers. They are Dr. Anushree Mathur ma'am, Mrs. Shalini Satsangi ma'am, and Ms. Neetu Jetli madam. To begin with, our first speaker is Dr. Anushree Mathur ma'am. There is a lot to talk about, madam. She is highly qualified and she is having so many golden feathers in her career. But I'm trying to say a few words about madam. Dr. Anushree Mathur ma'am is a distinguished RCI certified psychologist, holds a PhD in psychology, and brings over 2 decades of expertise as a students counselor at Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Vidyashram, KM Munshi Marg, Jaipur. She is very renowned for her successful track record in addressing student concerns. She has made significant contributions to the field through numerous publications in nationally acclaimed journals. Additionally, Madam has co authored a book on environmental psychology, further showcasing her academic and professional achievements. So let us all hear from Madam. Madam, are you there? Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Shukla, for these kind words. And I hope that I might, add something for today's session. So,
Yeah.
sir, with your permission, may I start the session?
Please, ma'am, please.
And sir, Shukla ma'am, may I share the screen? Share the screen. I hope the screen is visible to all. Is the screen visible? Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. We often hear that schools prepare us for life. But have you ever wondered if we are truly equipping our students with all the skills required in today's constantly evolving world? While we may teach them how to solve math problems or write essays, but dealing with this Gen Z and now Gen Beta would definitely involve much more than traditional subjects of school. Yes, that would include essential life skills, especially social skill, as is the topic being assigned to me. Social skills are the invisible threads that hold our communities and relationships together. When we meet someone for the first time, we resolve a disagreement, we communicate our feelings, or even negotiate a deal with a vegetable vendor in the market. Some specific skills are needed, right? These are social skills. Skills we rarely impart in classrooms, probably due to the pressing deadline of syllabus completion. So, in today's session, we will try to explore these often overlooked skills. We'll delve into why they matter, how they can impact our students' lives, especially when a chunk of their waking time they prefer to be in their virtual world. How can we nurture them outside the classroom? So, let's get started. Sometimes during a conversation, we felt that the other person wasn't really listening to us. It happens a lot, right? Or a student comes to you and says, I don't want to come to school anymore. So while checking the notebook, you simply reply, you should come, it is important. Well, then, probably we have missed an opportunity to understand the deeper issue. Active listening isn't just hearing words, it is about understanding the speaker's emotions, intentions, and needs. It means putting down your phone, maintaining eye contact, and actually being present in the moment. It is important to make the person feel heard. Instead of jumping to conclusions or advice, phrases like, want to talk about it? This sure sounds hard, can help bridge the gap. Small gestures like nodding or summarizing their words can make a huge difference. Let us watch a short video to understand more about this skill.
So I told Carl nobody, no matter how famous their parents are, nobody is allowed to climb on the dinosaur. But of course, this went right in one ear.
I love how he cares so much about stuff. If I squint, I can pretend he's Alan Alda.
Oh, good. Another dinosaur story. One of those gonna become extinct.
If I was a superhero who could fly and be invisible, that would be the best.
What does Rachel see in this guy? I love Rachel. I wish she was my wife.
Who's singing?
Well, I guess this was definitely not active listening, and it is this that we need to make our students understand. Moving on to another skill, conflict resolution. Conflicts happen, it's normal. The real question is how we handle them. I just heard A.K. Sharma sir share with us that we'll be having a complete session on conflict, so I'll not take too much of time on this. But do we escalate the argument or we try to find a common ground? Conflict resolution is the way of handling the situation that determines the outcome. So, conflict resolution can help bring people together once we put that issue to rest. One of the most important elements in conflict resolution is choosing to tackle problems as a team rather than attacking each other. Yet another important skill for good social relations is body language awareness. See, body language speaks louder than words sometimes. That is probably because about 70% of our conversation is through gestures and non-verbal cues. Hence, understanding postures that may send wrong signals is imperative. So, ask students to think. Simple examples such as, how would you feel if someone crossed their arms or avoided eye contact and didn't smile while talking to you? Not good, right? So, a simple change like sitting up straight, smiling, and maintaining eye contact can completely transform your approachability. It is such a small thing, but it makes a big difference. Now, to highlight this, let's watch a short clip and notice how thoughts and emotions are conveyed without relying on words.
Everything to your satisfaction, sir.
Is everything all right, sir?
Oh, yes.
See how powerful body language can be. It conveys emotions, intentions, and even build connections without a single spoken words. This is what our students need to be trained about. The next skill that plays a very significant role in the social development of students is conversation skills. The power of conversation starters is often underestimated. Some of us dread initiating a conversation. Why is that? Well, it feels awkward. True, but it is the first step to meaningful connections. As teachers, we focus on structured conversations about lessons or the progress of a student. But a simple question like, how was your weekend?
ఒకటి డైరెక్ట్ జాయిన్ ప్రిలీజ్ పాస్వర్డ్ కి ఇచ్చి టైప్ కూర్చుని
uh, might lead to meaningful insight into the student's hobby or some issue that the student has been troubling for past few weeks. It may seem pointless, but this is a gateway to bigger conversations. These skills are crucial in ice breaking and building connections. It is just about showing interest and finding common ground. The more you practice, the easier it gets. So, we need to teach our students some simple conversation starters like, how's your day going? I love your shoes or dress. Or maybe a simple hi. That can go a long way in initiating a conversation with another person. Let us now talk about emotional regulation, something we all need but often struggle with. Emotional regulation is the ability to manage one's emotion, especially in challenging situations. Many a times we snap at someone or give an inappropriate response which we immediately wish we could take back. It happens to the best of us. So, emotion regulation is not about suppression of your feelings. Rather, it is about pausing and choosing how to respond, managing them in a way that helps rather than harms. Now, try to reframe the situation. So, if being answered back or avoided by someone, try to think maybe they are having a bad day instead of thinking they are being rude to me. So, when something, ask students that when something triggers you, take a moment to process. It often helps. If we are about to send an angry message, it is the easiest way for students nowadays not having to face the annoying scenario. Ask them to put away that mobile and step away from it for a few seconds. It helps you feel less personally attacked. If they feel their emotions bubbling up, ask them to remember to pause, breathe, and choose their responses wisely. Yet another very important skill is empathy. Empathy, as we know, is the ability of putting yourself in someone else's shoes. A very powerful skill, as it is about understanding how someone else is feeling. Now, for instance, when a student tells that they are disappointed about losing a competition, so instead of saying, it's just a game, relax, the statement, I can imagine how much effort you put in. That must feel tough. It shows care. It forms the cornerstone of healthy relationships, the very core of social skills, fostering deeper connection and mutual respect. This is also a skill that can be cultivated and developed over time with practice and intention. Let us watch a short video related to this.
Come on!
That's crazy.
My rocket! Wait! Riley and I were still using that rocket. It still has some song power left. Who's your friend who likes to play? No, you can't take my rocket to the dump. Riley and I are going to the moon. Riley can't be done with me.
Hey, it's gonna be okay. We can fix this. We just need to get back to headquarters. Which way to the train station?
I had a whole trip planned for us.
Hey, who's ticklish, huh? Here comes the tickle monster.
I'm sorry they took your rocket. They took something that you loved. It's gone. Forever.
Sadness. Don't make him feel worse.
Sorry.
It's all I had left of Riley.
I bet you and Riley had great adventures.
Oh, they were wonderful. Once we flew back in time. We had breakfast twice that day.
Sadness!
It sounds amazing. I bet Riley liked it.
Oh, she did. We were best friends.
Yeah, it's sad.
I'm okay now. The train station is this way.
See how we can foster empathy, reflect on our experiences, and connect more deeply with ourselves and others. That's the magic of being empathetic. The next skill is extremely essential for our well being: building boundaries. Boundaries are essentially the limits we set to protect our time, energy, and emotional health. Many a times we have agreed to do something we didn't want to, just because we felt we couldn't say no. Happens with me most of the time, and I'm sure many others will be on the same page. It is common, isn't it? We either want to be helpful or avoid conflict. So we usually give in to the situation. But saying yes all the time can leave us overwhelmed, stressed, drained, or even resentful. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They are about protecting what matters to us the most. That is our mental peace. For example, if you are working and a friend keep calling during your work hours, you keep answering and ultimately find it hard to focus. Right? So know your limits. Ask, what am I comfortable with and what is too much for me? Ask students to use polite, consistent, and firm language to define their boundaries and then stick to it. They might feel uncomfortable at first, but they are very, very essential for emotional and mental well being. See, basically, they need to know that saying no doesn't make you feel selfish. It is what makes us balanced. That is what our students need to understand. Coming to the last skill for today's session, social cues. Social cues are the little signals that people give, like their tone of voice. May I please request all to turn off their mics? Thank you so much. So, yes, that was a social cue. So, social cues are the little signals that people give off, like the tone of their voice or body language. Now, for instance, during a conversation, someone may keep looking at their watch, unfold a paper, tickle with a pen, and the like. ignoring that cue might lead you to speak one-sidedly for too long, which could make others feel uncomfortable. Understanding social cues help us to communicate better and avoid misunderstanding. Let's say a chirpy student is unusually quiet during a conversation. Now, picking up on that cue might prompt you to ask, is everything okay? You seem a bit off today. That simple observation can help us to strengthen the relationship. Now, our students who often remain busy with constant messaging, cues such as short responses in a chat, simple emojis, or delayed replies, or turning off a camera during a video call are certain subtle cues that should be picked up. So understanding social cues is more or less like, learning a new language. It takes practice, but the rewards are worth it. It will help build better relationships, avoid misunderstanding, and create more empathetic connection with others. So, as we come to the end of the session, let us remember that social skills, though not taught explicitly in schools, they can be learned and practiced every day. In how we interact with others. As teachers, we are not just imparting knowledge, we are building connections that leave lasting impression on our students. I conclude with a video that underscores the fact that our role as teacher goes beyond academics. We are mentors, motivators, and often catalysts for their transformation. Let us remember that every interaction with our students is an opportunity to empower them and let them grow, not just academically, but socially and emotionally.
These schools are designed to prepare management students for careers in business. But when businesses have changed, shouldn't these schools?
I got bullied. I wasn't good at communicating with people. I was very afraid because I couldn't speak a word of English. And at the time, I remember I had to deliver a little speech in order to pass the class, to get the grades. And every time I had to give a presentation, anything like that, I would skip the class because I was so afraid. We would just hide in the bathroom because I didn't want to be found. And Miss Fallon saw that, and she was like, well, what are you doing, Dan? You need to do your speech. And I said, well, Miss Fallon, I can't do it. I'm so afraid. I'm so scared. I have stage fright. And she said, you know what? If you don't do the speech, I cannot let you pass. She said, why don't you come to my office after class, and I would help you. I would coach you. And she did. And she was helping me and overcome some of my shyness. I still remember I was very nervous. My palms all sweaty and my face looked pale. And I did it. She let me pass. And she was the first one that believed in me that, hey, you know what, you could do better. That don't let the circumstances hold you back. And she took the time. That's very important. Fast forward many years later, what brought you to school? I said, I will come to thank you. Oh, she said, for what? And I told her the whole story. Remember back then? And she said, yeah, of course I remember, right? And she said, I always saw something in you that you've got potential, you're a great kid. And I gave her 2 books, and she was shocked. Oh, what is this? I said, I wrote these 2 books. And so she was very, very emotional. So that was a very special experience. As a teacher myself, to so many people, young people, entrepreneurs around the world, I understand the impact that you could have on somebody. One gesture, one encouragement, one quote, one story, spending a little bit more time with a kid after school, just giving him a little bit of encouragement, she believed in me. And I think don't underestimate the power of having someone believe in you more than you believe in yourself.
So we are teachers, we are magicians, and if not us, then who? With this, I conclude. Thank you so much for your patient listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really wonderful to listen from you, and how you ended that line. I will obviously remember. We are teachers and we are magicians too. And that's really so inspiring, ma'am. And as a teacher, I hope every teacher will agree with me that nowadays the vital problem that we face is to how to deal with this highly sensitive and technically sound generation. They are always two steps ahead from us, from the teachers. So we need to understand their psychology, to control their action, their mind, and to channelize them in a positive way. Thank you so much, ma'am. That was really informative. Thank you, ma'am.